Let's talk about the destructuring objects. Here we have person object. I'm trying to get the first name and the last name. There is an old way to get properties by using the person dot first, person dot last. Let me access the first, and you will get the first name and the last name. But destructuring allows you to use, you don't need to write anything, like you don't need to create any variable for each property. You can access that in a single line. Let me show you the destructuring. Let is equals to we want first name, last name, and we want country, and we also want city and Twitter handler. Cool. Here we need to provide our object. This is our object. Let me refresh that. Here you will find the first name, last name, Twitter. You will get all the properties. How do you destructure the multiple nested objects? Let me show you. Here I have friend object. Inside the friend we have address, and inside the address we have location object. So what I'm going to do, I would like to access the latitude and longitude. You can use that. Again, this time I'm going to use const. You can use lat or const. Lat and longitude. I want to access these properties from the friend object, and we will have address and location. That's it. Let's try to access that. Let's try to access latitude, and we got the latitude and longitude. One another stuff, you can also do that. You can also rename these variables. Let's say I would like to use the latitude and longitude, and I would like to get them from the friend dot address dot location. Cool. Let's try to fetch the longitude. Cool. Let's try to fetch the latitude. Cool. Here we have latitude values. So you can rename the variables. One of the most important stuff, you can also add default values. Let's say I have a pagination object. Cool. And we have page number, which is 1, and per page, which is 10. I would like to load the 20 records per page, and you can say here query is empty. Let's say query variable, or you can say that name, query by name, or you can sorting by ascending order. Here our pagination object, I want to get the values like say page, per page, and query and sort. I did not define the sort directory, so dir. You can use default value here. Sort directory, sorting by ID. I would like to sort by ID. I would like to get all the values from the pagination object. So the main important that you can also add here default value. Let's say if you do not provide the page value, it will use the default value. Let's say I'm going to use 2 here, and per page, let's say 10. If you did not define the per page value, it will add the 10 per page value. You can also use query, let's say name. I'm going to use that. You can also use default value for sort. Let's say DSC. Cool. Let's try to access these variables. Page, bam, here we have 1. Let's say I did not define the page value. You will get the page 2. Cool. Let's say per page, you will get the 20. Boom. Query, you will get the name, sort, ascending, because I have used the sort value here. Let's remove that. This time you will get the sort dir. Cool. Let's talk about destructuring the array. We have data array. Let's say I would like to, let's say it is a first name is equals to data. I would like to get the first name from the index 0 and the last name. There is an old way to get the elements from the array. I don't want to do this, so we need to use the destructuring. This time you need to use the array brackets like this one. Do not use this one. And let's say I would like to name the first name, last name. The third element is ID, and fourth element is the age. Let's assume that data. Cool. Let me refresh that. I would like to access the first name. Cool. I got the first name. I need to access the last name. Cool. Here we have. You can say that. I can also access the ID. Boom. Let's talk some more example of destructuring. Here we have text is comma separated text, or you can say that longitude, latitude, or something like ID and location, like city name, or you can say that New York. Here is a comma separated value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use destructure. The first one is longitude, long, and latitude, and the ID and the city name. So how can you do that? I would like to use the split method to split the array by comma. I'm going to refresh that. Oops, ID is already defined. Let's say weather ID. No, I could not use that. So destructure into weather ID. Weather ID, let's access that. Boom, here we have fun. You can also access the city. Cool. There is another use case to implement the array destructuring. Let's say we have a person's array. Let's assume that first one is manager. The name of the manager is John, and the second element is accountant. Let's say second member is accountant, and this third one is developer. Rest of them are developers. Either Ali and Jane, these three are developers, and first one is manager and the second one is accountant. So how can you destructure that? You can also destructure that. First one is manager, accountant name. I should write the name of the accountant, Smith here. Accountant, and the rest of them are, you can use the rest operator. Rest of them are developers. Cool. I can destructure from the person's array. Let's try to access the manager. Cool. John. You can also access the accountant. Bam. Smith. The rest of them are developers. Boom. Here we have Heather, Ali, and Jane. You can also swap two variables very easily by using destructuring, by using array destructuring. Let's say I'm trying to destructure both variables. Here we have admin is Jane. I would like to make Jane as a super admin. Now you will, let's say that super admin is Do. Let's try to access the admin. Admin is Do. So you have lose the value of admin. So in other ways, if you're working with ES5, you can say that you need to use temp variable, and you need to assign the value of admin, and here admin is equals to super admin. Now you can assign the value of super admin to temp. Let's try to do that. Admin is equals to Do. Now you have made the admin to Do. Now I would like to make the super admin to Jane. Let's try to access the super admin. Will be Jane. Oops, I need to refresh that. Let's try to access the super admin. Should be Jane. Cool. Now it's time to access the admin. Admin is Do. There is another ES6 way to swap two variables. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use array here. Let's say super admin. What I'm gonna do here, I would like to first put admin and super admin. Let me comment it out. Now the super admin will be Jane, and the admin should be Do. Let's try to access that. Oops, I got the warning error. Do not use let here. Let's try to access the super admin. You will see the value is Jane. Cool. The admin should be Do. Cool. Let's talk about destructuring function arguments. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arguments. The main problem is that we cannot change the order of the arguments. So what I'm going to do, I would like to convert them inside the object. So if we have get persons method, we have applied some kind of the pagination logic. It is going to return the persons, total, and page number. You can also do in this way. Both key and value are same, so you can use page here. The same concept applied here. I don't need to use per page. This is a short syntax in ES6, so I'm going to use this one. And what I want to do, I would like to convert into the object. Cool. Now I want to pass and properties options object page. Now I can use the order. Now I can reorder them. I can change the order. Let's say I would like to change the order of page here. Cool. So now I can change the order. So here I also need to destructure them. Which one is total? Cool. Now you have destructured all the properties or attributes. Otherwise, what you need to do on side, you can say that there is an options, or you can also do here is an object is equals to options. There are many ways to do this one, but I like this one. Whole. Let me try to log that. I'm going to access that. Let me refresh that. So I would like to access the persons. Cool. There is a persons array. Boom. And here we have page, per page, and total.